the podcast, find it at TMASTL.com or wherever you podcast, and check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. And we're back. It's time for After, the Morning After, presented by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, and the TMASTL YouTube channel with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Jackson Burkett.
It's 11 o'clock in St. Louis, and you're listening to After, the Morning After, on 105.7 HD2 FM and the TMASTL YouTube channel. Podcast it every day, anytime you want. The program airs from 11 to 12 and then replayed 4, 5, and 6 papers. Mm-hmm. There you go. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Jackson Burkett, Kenneth Iggy Strode with you on the program. You can join in the conversation in YouTube, which is brought to you by James Carlton, and on the text inbox line, which is brought to you by the wonderful people at Lifetime Roofing. The number to text into After the Morning After, 314-252-0714. That's 314-252-0714. And you can subscribe to the TMASTL YouTube channel and talk it over in there with the Friends of the Feather from the TMASTL YouTube channel. The program, though, is presented to you by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota. If you are on board with After the Morning After, make sure you support the sponsors. And Jamie Burkhardt is the co-executive producer of this program. You want to go right to the muckety mucks at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota? He set up a number specifically for you. Here's the number: 314-287-3002. That's 314-287-3002. And now you're at the muckety mucks if you want a new car. If you want a pre-owned car, you need to get your car serviced. Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Behind the scenes here, Doug and Iggy in a real testy spot here over when Doug is going to do his daily fantasy sports showdown with Iggy on is this the Patreon?
Patreon, yeah.
Patreon. And Doug, you have a busy afternoon, so you can't do it.
Well, I can do it just a little later, around 4.
Is that all right, Iggy?
Yeah, it's cutting into my dinner time, but I'll just wait to cook.
How long is your dinner time?
I usually eat about 4.
Till when? 4 till what? 4?
It depends what I'm eating.
I like to have a nice long 3-hour kind of meal.
No, it depends what I'm eating.
Half hour, 4:30, you'll be done?
I'll wait till I'm done with you. Then I'll eat. I don't have to eat at 4. I just do.
I'll cook food, sometimes 20, 25 minutes.
Is that right? You're a little chef boy?
Not really, but in preheating and all this, that, and the other. By the time, 25 minutes, and then I'll eat the food in about 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah.
So it seems out of whack.
It doesn't take long. I mean, it depends what I'm eating. If I'm eating fish, fish takes me 5 minutes.
I'm not joking. His nose is already whistling. Bang and start again. That's from Ernie Bjorkman. Ernie was waiting for it. Pot him down. Take him to the back and pot him down now. That's from Little Beer Cats. What are people just waiting after the 3-day weekend? I mean, we haven't even started the program.
Now, what happened to your hat? You always wear a hat.
Oh, I got my hair cut.
Oreen retired.
She cut my hair.
Oreen cut your hair?
Yeah, I just called
That's
to see
why
how
she's the best.
I just called and see how she's doing. And I said, and by the way, I said, I've gotten my hair cut once since you've retired. I said, I don't trust anybody. She goes, come by the house. I went by the house.
Yeah.
And she cut my hair at the house.
All right.
She has the coolest house.
Where is
She lives in Ferguson. I don't think I've ever been to Ferguson. I take that back. I went down there and interviewed Don Lemon during the Michael Brown stuff. But I'd never been to Ferguson. She has like a bohemian house.
House.
It's like old, but the inside is just so cool. She has a garden and a koi pond out front. And she has a garden and a koi pond in the back with a gazebo. It's so cool. So it was good to see Oreen.
Thank you so much,
Well,
guys. Thank you so much for this nice words. I appreciate it so much.
That's Oreen right there?
Well, she didn't have the accent when I saw her.
That was the great Vivian Azure, Doug, of a wonderful guest on this program who left the adult industry 48 hours later. Hey, Iggy, hope your weekend was great. Glad you're back. Any chance you could help me get Rube McClanahan a table for 6 at the Chili's in Mid-Rivers Mall parking lot for Thursday night? I'm striking out bad. That's from Larry Thornton. Doug, you know him as a longtime texture, Missouri football and basketball insider. He used to produce at KSTK.
Right.
Well, I could, but she won't show up because I think she's dead.
There used to be an O'Charlie's there, right? Remember O'Charlie's, Doug?
At Mid Rivers Mall.
I thought.
I didn't hang out at Mid Rivers Mall as much as I
Why
should.
not?
Well, it's 40 minutes away from my house.
How long ago did that shut down?
Oh, Charlie's?
No, Mid Rivers Mall.
It's still there, isn't it?
Is it?
In St. Peter's?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Galleria may be closing.
I haven't heard that.
You didn't hear that?
They got a little debt issue.
Yeah, they may have to foreclose on their lease or something
On
like
the whole thing?
They're a little behind in payments, kind of like the old 590 days.
Do you think they'll go man and woman Galleria?
Yeah. Well, they lasted a little bit longer than that.
I thought South County Mall would be the next to fall. Maybe Galleria will beat them to it.
West County's still thriving, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be doing all right. But if a mall can't make it in Chesterfield, it's probably a really bad sign for all malls everywhere. Because Chesterfield had a great location.
Yeah, Amazon's killing everyone.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me. I never shop anymore. I just go to Amazon.
A Little Beer Cats wants you to know he sent that text last Thursday, but the text still stands. That's from Little Beer Cats.
Sounded like one of the texts on your show today.
What was the text on our show? Were they not happy with something in particular that
I don't
stood
know
out
about
to
the
you?
text, the YouTube chat.
Oh, YouTube chat wasn't happy?
Yeah, around 9:30.
Doug, around 9:30, you said something to really upset
I probably did.
the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat right now says bring tilt back. They want to turn SoCo into a sports facility with hockey rinks, etc. That's from Mr. Burkett's Rideshare.
Yeah.
You heard that?
I had heard something like
What's
that.
KILF?
I don't know.
Kilf.
Why'd you answer me? You just said bring KILF back.
What's Kilf?
Well, I didn't answer
What did the
that.
text say? Didn't it say bring KILF back?
Tilt.
Tilt.
Doug, I believe, was responding to Mr. Burkett's Rideshare, who said they want to turn SoCo Mall into a sports facility with hockey rinks, etc.
Oh, somebody said it. I thought it said bring KILF back.
Remember, Dan Buck tried that with the Mills. Just ran into COVID and all kinds of financial problems after that.
Was Tilt an arcade at the Crestwood Mall? That's what I'm reading here.
Could have been.
It was a poker site.
Iggy, what about the bird? Did you get it out of your apartment?
I haven't seen it. There's nothing dead in there, so I guess it's gone.
How about the piece of bread you left at the windowsill?
It was still there, so I guess it didn't eat it on its way out.
Oh. But there's a chance it's still in there somewhere.
I think it is.
No, well, I would smell it probably by now.
Smell a bird?
Well, it wouldn't. It would die somewhere where I'd see it.
He'd certainly poop all over the place.
I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen that
There
either.
it is, right there. It's back.
Yeah. I will answer. You know, I said I'll answer a TMA Reddit question every day.
Oh yeah, Doug. This is a new sponsored segment. We need a studio sponsor, and Iggy answers the TMA Reddit.
Yeah, and not so much a question, but I'll answer comments. If you have a particular question, go ahead and throw it in there. But I'll answer.
Because you're not allowed to comment.
No, I can see, but I can't comment.
Been barred. Like a wanted poster with your face on it on Reddit.
And for some reason, I can upvote too, or I can downvote. I just can't comment.
Yeah.
But I'll answer comments in there. And a big fan of mine in there, Ozzy Whitehouse,
Oh, Lord.
huge fan of mine.
Nice.
He said, "What a liar! There's no way a bird's flying into that studio apartment."
Studio NPA.
What do you? It's not a studio apartment. What do you think? It's going to fly in? It's up too small for me. I'm not coming in.
It's a holding cell more than an apartment, isn't it?
Have you never heard of a bird flying in a house? It's not like it's out of the ordinary. Look out! In the last week, within a 3-day span, I saw a starling dead in front of the entrance to Hubbard, and a poor little hummingbird. You know why?
They run into glass windows.
They ran in. They try to fly in.
Fly into windows.
And they run into a glass. Well, this one flew into the screen.
Hummingbird, baby.
That's why they don't have the lights on at the arch all the time, because of so many birds crash into
Oh,
it.
really?
Is that real?
Yeah. They say migratory birds use the Mississippi River as a navigational way. And in peak seasons when they're going north when it gets warm and south when it gets cold, they tend to fly along the river, and a lot of them were crashing into the arch when the lights were on.
You'll see that happen sometimes with those big sliding doors, too.
Yeah.
That's scary as hell when one of those flies in there. Dive bombs into
Oh, yeah.
into.
So it's not out of the ordinary for a bird to fly into a house. So yes, Ozzy Whitehouse, It did happen. And
But it is a little abnormal.
This is a Reddit username you're talking to?
Ozzy Whitehouse.
Okay, is there a username called the Obnoxious Pheasant? Because Flip Wilson says, Iggy, did you find out who Obnoxious Pheasant was? Was this something that you were talking about on social media over the holiday weekend?
No, I think last week we were talking about, is it Ambitious Quail, maybe?
Brother.
So there's Obnoxious Pheasant and Ambitious Quail.
I don't know if there's a
They're
pheasant
brothers?
in there. There's a raccoon something in there.
And their comments really bug you.
They
You got to
don't
get it
bug
off
me.
your
They
chest.
don't bug me, but I'm just answering Ozzy Whitehouse.
Now, it wouldn't be abnormal for a bird to fly in the house. It is seemingly abnormal that you're doing nothing about it to rectify the issue.
Well, I may agree with that, but I don't care.
That's fair.
Well, you would care. You wouldn't care if there's a bird flying around your apartment.
It wasn't flying. It flew in right by me while I was watching TV, then I couldn't find it. I heard it, and I go look, and it wasn't there. So I'm not going to just go around the whole house. It's not bothering me.
I don't know if you're taking questions from caller Ellen.
Sure, I love Ellen.
She says she wants to call in, but Jackson won't let her. Is that what's going on?
I mean, you could frame it that way.
We don't have a phone.
We have a phone.
But
Has it got an estimated time of fixing?
I would say mid-June.
Jesus.
Well, again, this isn't like I'm just the messenger
Well, it's
here.
not your fault, but
Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies was texting during TMA this morning saying, open up my phone lines.
I'm trying.
yeah.
I'm
Is
desperately.
he sponsoring the phone line?
He is sponsoring
oh
the
my
phone
God.
lines.
not getting his money's worth
You
right
know,
now.
Yeah.
No, it'd be a fair grievance if I were a sponsor to say, hey, I'm sponsoring the phone
No,
lines.
trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Mark can sponsor the I'll answer
We're
TMA question before the
answering
phone lines work.
questions.
Yeah.
Switch
The
over to
pricing is
that.
the same.
Mark Hanna's on Evergreen Wealth Strategies, evergreen-ws.com, or call him 314-889-0503. He sponsors the phone lines, Doug, but mid-June they'll be ready. That's about a month from now.
That's like when you get at the restaurant, they're like, it might be 45 minutes, and then 20 minutes later they give you a call saying your table's ready.
But is anybody
And you're
actually
delighted?
actively working on this?
The part that they have to order is coming in. I'm just the messenger. Please don't put me in this position.
Oh.
It seems like it's my fault.
Well, Mark Hanna's
Why don't you just
hopping mad.
take the part from the our old studio? Nobody uses that phone in there. They use it for a podcast studio,
Steal
but they
some
don't use the
parts.
phone in there.
I'm sure that the people who do this for a living have tried everything they can.
No, I think they just don't care about this show.
Doug.
I'm just
Why don't you send a company-wide email saying we're filing this grievance.
Who is it, Marshall? No, Marshall's great. Marshall's the best in the business.
You're calling people out now.
No, Marshall's
name.
our chief engineer. So if it can't get fixed, that means he needs a part. Marshall knows what he's doing.
Right.
Doug,
Well,
you
that's
can
what
call
Jackson
Mark
said.
Hanna at 314-889-0503 or go online at evergreen-ws.com. That's Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mid-June. Jackson's becoming more like Iggy every week. That's in the Hunchback of Von Castle. Jackson, his face is frozen like he's in Clayton on a Friday night.
Well, what are they going to do? Can't win them all, I guess.
I'd be upset at that too. If you were more like me.
What's wrong with your phone line?
Hey,
Hair looks good, Ken. Much better look for you. That's some beer cats. How about that?
Well, that's nice.
You got maybe an olive branch extended there.
Not really.
You don't think your hair looks better, or you don't think
Oh, I
it's an
think
olive
it
branch?
was much better.
But you think that was a smoke screen? Beer cats?
Took me 30 seconds to take a shower today.
well, how long did it take before? It's not like you had hair down to your waist or anything.
It still took a while to wash it, Doug.
What's new in the world of alternative guerrilla online dating strategies and AI chatbot conversations with Ken this Memorial Day weekend? That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Nothing.
Nothing doing?
Just had a nice, relaxing weekend. I don't know if you knew this, Jackson,
Okay.
but it was a game changer for me.
Sure.
When Nancy, Joe's wife, came over to help do the internet, you know, it has to go in that apartment across the hall. And
Why?
I don't know why. But the guy that was renting that out, he was renting it for traveling nurses. I guess there was a bunch of traveling nurses coming through town for a whole year, and he rented that apartment out and rented it to traveling nurses.
Sure.
Well, when they left, he
They
stopped
took the
renting
router
it.
with them.
And he got no, he just canceled the internet. He was paying for it. And I'd never been in that apartment, so Nancy said, "I'm coming upstairs. Come on over and we'll hook this up." As soon as she opened the door, there's a washer and a dryer there in the kitchen. I said, "Oh my God, there's a washer and dryer in here?" She goes, "Yeah, you can use it as long as nobody's staying here." Knocked out about 4 loads of laundry over the weekend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have to. There's no laundromats down there, and I'm not going to go to one and sit there. You know, when I was in Maryland Heights, I could throw it in the wash, go home, come back, throw it in a dryer.
What'd you do?
go
Put it
home.
on the clothesline?
No, I live 2 seconds from the clubhouse, so I would put the wash in, just go home and do something, and then go back, throw it in the dryer, then come home again. I'm not going to go sit in a laundromat for 3 hours.
So my question is, what have
good
you been
times.
doing before discovering this washer?
Going to my niece's house in St. Peter's.
Oh, gosh.
Driving 35 minutes
Yeah.
to your laundry?
Well, I can sit and have a cup of coffee with her and chat. But it's a long drive for laundry.
I'd say.
But when I saw the washer and dryer and she said you can use it, game changer.
So you got a key now to this other apartment.
He's got to jimmy it open.
No, it's open.
Guys, my family owns a window store. We were wondering if there was anything else there that's broken that we could slap our name on.
Come on over.
Yeah.
It's from Larry Thorne.
I can't record on this computer. You could,
So Larry Thorne's window store can sponsor the computer that
yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah. I can play things. I just can't record things.
Can we do a trade deal? Just come fix a screen and I'll give you a mention.
God, that's Yola.
Yeah, I mean, that's and saying it on air for posterity is also.
I didn't give him the name of the place.
You
Some
have to
random window store.
Have to be able to
Checkmate,
fix
I
it.
guess.
Yeah, come on over.
Howdy, I would call, but Jackson won't let me. Has Iggy told us how he ended up on the Hill? He used to be so committed to Maryland Heights. Just curious. And can the dais take its ADHD meds? Would you please ask Iggy my question? I'm genuinely curious. The boss is arriving in 5 minutes, so I'm really hoping you guys get to this.
Who is that?
Let's call her Ellen.
Ellie. Yeah, I was kicked out of my Maryland Heights apartment.
For smoking, because
long
of
story. I
smoke
don't want to
went
go
up.
with again. Yeah, the 20-something neighbors who just moved from Cincinnati. That cesspool of a city are worried about my smoke.
Oh, gosh.
Queen City gets hit hard.
But
Outs left and right.
I was sitting on my patio, and they said the smoke was blowing up and making a right-hand turn into their patio screen, which was virtually impossible.
Real magic loogie situation.
I
Well, they
just-
must have smelled it or they wouldn't have said
No,
anything.
they just wanted to bitch. So anyway, to make a long story short, they kicked me out without even giving me a warning. They just slapped a note on my door, so you got 10 days to get out.
Oh, and you were squatting.
No. So I had to get out of there. So I just put online, if anybody knows of an apartment open that, doesn't need a month or two before I can move in. And Marco Bertorelli, who was the landlord, I turned it off. I don't know
You
what happened.
didn't turn it off because it's ringing now.
You were playing Golf Rival
I hit-
so loud before the show
I
started.
hit 2 do not disturb. But Marco said the one that Jackson used to live in is available. You can move in this weekend.
That's right. Game used.
So I did that, and so that's how I got into the Hill.
Like one of these noises.
Seriously.
That's a voicemail.
Did you become are you on a submarine?
I don't know what that notification is. So that's how it happened, Elsie. Marco was nice enough to say it's open, move in this weekend, and so I moved in like 5 days after they kicked me out.
He jacked the rent up on you.
I don't know what Jackson paid, so I don't know.
Jackson, what do you pay?
That's
Yes. I hope you don't say lower, because then I'll say what? No, it's very fair for living on the Hill.
Yeah.
it's a great
So
location.
that's another thing on the Reddit page. And no, I don't get free rent.
Like this. There's a belief that you get free rent?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you get free rent?
Because it's a jail cell.
They think a sponsor pays for it for me.
That'd
I think
be
one
very
You've been
kind.
living there well before we started doing After the Morning After.
I know.
Okay.
But we talked about it in the morning after, I think.
And then even though you weren't on the show for 16 months, the sponsor just said, oh, hell, we'll just give him free.
I think at one point they said recovering alcoholic is paying for my rent.
The recovering alcoholic's paying
Yeah,
for you.
he's my sugar daddy, which is, he's the nicest man I know, but he doesn't pay for my rent.
Like he is a nice gentleman.
Yes, he is.
Really great.
Certainly is.
You know, sometimes After the Morning After reminds me of when I used to visit my grandparents at the old folks' home. You just hear these random conversations about birds, people being offended by their smoking, and they can't control the volume of their phones. That's from the St. Charles of Aphrodite.
But in this version, the retirement home comes to you and does laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Drives
I'll look at it
35
again.
minutes to do laundry.
I've been good about it. It's been not doing anything for the last 3 weeks.
You have been better about it.
But I don't know what happened. I hit Do Not Disturb this time.
Yeah.
I love this show. It's like Ken is the Washington Generals and technology is the Harlem Globetrotters. We both know who is winning every game, but I'll be damned if it is entertaining. It's Arbor Day.
I turned it off again. So let's see.
The Hill apartment was the backup plan when Iggy's pitched to have an apartment and or mattress company sponsor him, and he emailed the president of the station to pitch the idea. That's from the Dogtown Astro van.
Well, again,
I think that was your finest work. by the
Again,
way.
that's wrong. And I wasn't kicked out then. Because I wouldn't say, can we get a sponsor to give me an apartment because I need 10 days? I mean, I want to get out of there before that anyway. These new neighbors are lying and driving me crazy. But it wasn't gimme. It was, when you got your hair plug thing done, did you pay for that? No. It was a sponsor. And you went and you were a guinea pig and you talked about it and said, I got this transplant, it's great. That's what this would be.
Yeah.
Do a trade deal for a bed, and I do your spots. I've never slept better. Who wouldn't be excited for me to live in their complex and me talk about their apartment? It was just a pitch.
You think apartment dwellers all over town are pining for you to come move
Obviously
in
not.
and smoke and so they can drift
Obviously
into their
not.
apartment?
And I didn't want a free apartment. I would have paid for it.
Sure.
But the mattress, yeah.
But if there was some sort of move-in fees waived, you wouldn't be opposed.
Well, that's fine, too. But I wasn't asking for anything free.
Right.
No.
It would have been spots. That's what happens all the time.
Used to go under overpasses and I'd lose AM 920. And now on crystal clear HD2 1057, I'm hearing sonar. Never change. That's from Flip Wilson.
Yeah.
Now it's fixed now. I hit the wrong button. Do Not Disturb was not off.
Swinging package of dynamite named Sassy Cassie.
I DM'd her over the weekend to come on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, what's she got going on?
And she didn't get back to me.
Oh,
Sassy
no.
Cassie?
She's still stripping.
Where's she based out of?
I don't know.
Wasn't it somewhere on the West Coast and she told us she drove like 2 nights to get to St. Louis?
Just to do TMA or probably
No,
likely to
to
strip?
work at some
Yeah, she was
strip club here.
stripping that weekend, too. That's why we got her in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think John Vaughn had to put her on the stool, and I had to lift her in the SUV.
Yeah.
John Vaughn did put her on the stool. I do remember that.
And then she left, and I had to pick her up and put her in her car seat.
We were speaking of Chris Pondoff. Pondoff's Anonymous Digital Podcast and Media Network needs the TMA audience's help driving up subscribers. We all serve the same social media algorithms, so here we are shamelessly asking for support. It's not necessarily a money play, as the subscriber numbers they're asking for won't translate into real dollars. The simple truth is the more subscribers, the better the chance people hear about the network, which translates into people knowing help, healing, and transformation are all out there. That's how it works. Please go to YouTube and wherever you get your podcast, search Pondoff's Anonymous and hit subscribe and search for Pondoff's Anonymous in your app store. Or you can contact Chris Pondoff directly at cpondoff@pondoffsanonymous.com for help. The 11 o'clock hour of the program is brought to you by Longo Biggs. Do you know anything about Longo Biggs?
I sure do, and you should too. If you have any kind of personal injury lawsuit, maybe just a question you want to call and find out if you have a case that could go forward. CD Longo and Doug Biggs, longtime listeners to the program, St. Louisans lifelong, in each other's weddings, actually. Graduated from St. Louis U's Law School and started up the Longo Biggs Law Firm together, and it has been a huge success because they win. They are not one of these big, giant law firms, more of a boutique firm, and that means they can give you more personalized service. The right law firm certainly makes a difference. If you have a serious case, these are the guys you want to have on your side. If you just have a question, not sure if you have a case at all, they're happy to take your call, give you some advice with that also. All of their clients have CDs and Doug's personal cell phone numbers. When you are a Longo Biggs client, they're going to give you their full attention until that case is completed. You get high-end service from a smaller firm that's not dealing with 100 other cases at the same time. You're going to get their maximum attention at all times. The website is longobiggs.com. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Chairman Curtis sent in a screenshot of a definition of payola. Conspiring to commit payola, agreeing with one or more people to exchange undisclosed money or valuable consideration for radio airplay is a crime.
Oh,
It's a crime.
Against the station, yeah. It can be fined by the FCC.
Engaging in payola without required on-air disclosure violates the Communications Act of 1934, making the conspirators vulnerable to several federal and state charges.
Yeah, we know that. For people that work on radio, we knew that already. Yeah, I mean, who's doing payola?
I don't know, but is that why you have to live in a jail cell now?
It wasn't about payola. No, if you do any kind of trade deal, you have to go through your management, and it has to be on the books.
Right.
Has to be in the log. Trade deal, Iggy talks about this as part of it goes into the logs every day. I can't just come on here and start plugging things. Hey, go check this place out. They gave me a free such and such. No. Now, back in the 590 days you could because nobody cared, but this is actually a reputable company that actually follows the rules.
Excuse me, Hubbard, I own an apartment complex. Do you have any on-air talent that I could use, like an audio scarecrow to ward off any single female tenants under the age of 70? Something a creepy old pervert, perhaps. Doug, that's from Arbor Day.
I'm your guy. I'm happy where I'm living. I don't need a place.
Moving now.
Thank you, though.
Audio scarecrows.
It's better than an audio bake sale.
131 people are in the James Carlton YouTube chat. Subscribe to the TMASTL YouTube channel and join in the conversation. James Carlton, sponsor of the chat. And I got a question for you boys, and I've saved it specifically for after the morning after. Iggy, I was telling you before the program, I was down by your residence. Doug, the place was called Sato. Have you dined there?
No, I have not.
Jackson, have you dined there?
Not the world's biggest sushi guy. So.
Yeah, right, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it. You told me it was right across from Charlie Gito's. And I know
it's incredible.
I know right across the street is Carnivore, but you said it's next to Carnivore. I didn't even know it was there.
Right across the street. Doug, would you call it northeast of Charlie Gito's? Just slightly northeast, and then west of Adriana's, where they haven't had a sloppy Giuseppe since I started following them on Facebook.
It's kind of an unassuming building. It doesn't really look like a restaurant from the outside. Looks kind of like a little warehouse, but they put together a nice
Maybe that's why I
restaurant.
didn't see it.
So here is my query for you. Place is wonderful. Can't say enough good things about the treats. I've sent listeners who've gone to Las Vegas. I was asking Jackson this before, after the morning after, if he went to Kabuto when he went out to Las Vegas, because that place is the best I've had as far as sushi goes. And the closest I've experienced to that is Sato in St. Louis, and nothing else is even close, actually. However, and I don't know if I'm out of line here. Well, I didn't say anything. I just went about my meal, but I'm curious, and maybe I'm going to be excoriated, Doug. I don't know. As we were dining there, a couple brought in their dog.
Into the restaurant.
All right. I feel good about this now.
Right
Yes.
inside.
And sat right under the table.
A support animal?
I guess.
It had to be.
And I didn't know if that was like commonplace now.
Did they appear to have some sort of disability? The people?
No.
I've seen dogs eating outside on patios.
This was in the restaurant under the table. So it's unanimous that was.
It's weird.
Okay, all right. I didn't know.
It's weird, and I don't think that's like a. If it's emotional support dog and they have papers and this, that, the other, they're probably allowed to do it. Okay, but if it's just like the idea of bringing your dog somewhere, I never win on this conversation when it comes to
I forgot
dogs.
about you and the dogs.
Yeah.
But Doug loves dogs.
Yeah.
I love dogs, just not in a restaurant while I'm eating.
Yeah.
You'd think it might be even a health code violation.
Yeah, but they get around it with the health dog, support thing.
Yeah.
And I get it if you have it, but those things are so laxed.
And this
I
is
know
like
a guy
9 o'clock on a Saturday night, and there's a dog under a table next to me.
I know
an active dog, or was it docile?
It was docile. I was just. It wasn't like, how can I handle this? It's whatever. I'm happy to be with my wife and not have the kids running around for a couple hours. And the restaurant, like I said, is really good. Super good. But I was curious if this was just something I'm out of touch on, which is very possible, and that's why I wanted to ask you boys.
No, I think if it's
because if I asked it on 101, they'd be mad that I ate sushi.
Yeah, it's a sport animal. There's nothing you can do about it. I guess the restaurant could say, we don't allow dogs, even support animals, then they probably get sued. But it's so easy because I know somebody went to Florida and wanted to bring their dog. It's just a mutt. It's not a support animal. And they wanted to bring it to Florida with them, but they didn't want to put it in a cart and have it. They wanted it with them. They bought a blue support apron for like $300 and put it on the dog and brought it on the plane.
So when they're a support dog, they have a little get up on or something like that?
Usually.
Yeah.
Okay,
Says
there
don't
was
pet.
some kind of thing, I guess. I mean,
Like
I
a
can
vest
sit there and
almost?
stare at it. Yeah, I think that might be a nice
Yeah,
term.
it's probably an
Papers.
emotional support dog.
Okay.
Because it usually has like says
And so what
on
does an
there.
emotional support dog do for people? This was just a couple, by the way.
Allows people to bring their dog into restaurants.
I think it comes.
And airplanes. You see it on airplanes. You see videos of people bringing their support pig. Oh,
Pig?
I have a support turkey. He's got to ride with me on the plane.
You can buy
Knock it off.
You can buy those vests under the table for like $300, and they put it on and they bring it on the plane. But
Right.
I think it's supposed to calm you down if you have like, is it PSTC or PS?
No, you got it the first time.
Okay, something like that. It calms you. The dog calms you, and you're not supposed to feed it either. You can't. You're not supposed to go up and pet it because it's working.
You're talking about PTSD.
Don't pet the dog because it's working?
Yeah.
Working, like, what do you mean?
For the owner. It's just it's concentrating on keeping the owner safe and feeling, calm. And if you start petting it, it starts, acting differently,
There are some
jumping up and
people-
down and doing stuff like that.
Who are diabetic, who have an emotional support dog, or not even emotional support, like just a support dog, in case that their blood sugar drops real low, they can go and retrieve things for them. It's crazy.
What are they going to retrieve?
Like insulin.
Where are they going to get that?
They know the owner, if they're like living by yourself, they put it in an area where the dog can reach it,
like
and they
if
can
you're
run
at home,
and grab it.
sure.
Yeah, right.
But if you're out and about, there's not going to be.
Well, then there'd be
vial of
people,
insulin.
but there'd be people around to help you then.
And support dogs are trained to be support dogs.
Right.
And Chris Pondoff told me this. I didn't know. And the reason you don't pet them is because they're not really a regular dog. They don't go fetch. They don't, get a treat and sit, stay, give me your paw. They're working. And 2 or 3 times a day, they take the blue vest off. Then it knows it can do it at once, and it runs in the backyard and catches balls and does what a dog does. But once the blue vest goes on, they go back to being a support animal.
How about that? Huh.
There's a guy on Instagram, might be my favorite account going. He has this little white poodle-looking dog. I mean, real fluffy-looking thing. And he'll take videos. He keeps it on a real long leash, and people will come up to try to pet it, and he'll just start screaming, "Not friendly! Not friendly!" Screaming at the people to not pet his dog. And it'll be like a 25-year-old woman like just going up to pet the dog real sweet when he'll scream at them, "Not friendly! Not friendly!" And it really cracks me up every time.
Kenny Bates is in the James Carlton YouTube chat and says Sato equals good. Hoosiers with fake support animals equal bad. And then Mrs. Janny Shanahan in the James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency YouTube chat says, unlike Jackson Gnome, I'm a big dog guy here, but that's not cool. Did the dog have a vest? Service animals typically have vests to show that and ask not to touch them. I believe so. Again, I didn't stare at it. I was like, oh, there's a dog under the table right next to us suddenly. And I do believe that there was some kind of, as Jackson called it, vest.
Yeah, if it doesn't have a vest and the owner says it's a support dog, then he's lying because a support dog has to have a vest on.
Jake Reynolds is in the James Carlton YouTube chat and says, I know a therapist who will write an official letterhead from their practice stating their dog is a support dog, but real support dogs go through actual training. I don't know.
How much emotional support can a dog really give you? I understand if you're blind and you're using a dog, by all means, you go wherever you want to go with the dog. But just emotional support?
I don't know. It seems to work for the people that have them.
I would be slightly perturbed by the fact that, I mean, if it's across the restaurant, one thing, and honestly, it wouldn't really bother me, but it's just like, okay, this is, especially Sato, as I'm under the impression, I believe it is a very nice restaurant where that would happen. I don't know.
Arbor Day says emotional support dogs are pretty incredible. They can interrupt panic attacks and other issues with veterans, help kids with learning disabilities. But people will also take advantage of loopholes, and that's on them. Not everybody is trying to screw you with their pants on at all times, Doug. That's from Arbor Day.
With their pants on. Yeah, people do take advantage of it, that's for sure. And others, I'm sure, are helped by it a lot. Good for them.
Iggy has a support bird. That's from caller Buzz.
Oh, that's right.
But you haven't seen the bird.
I haven't seen it. It does nothing for me. I have a headache, Birdie. Come here. Rub my scalp.
You cannot buy a vest for $300. Lies, lies, lies. You have any proof of this? That's from Mr. Bojangles.
I could have the guy call in, but then he would out himself.
He's selling emotional support vests on the low.
No, he bought it.
Who would control that? Who controls whether this dog is actually a licensed support animal or not? Where do you go to get that?
I don't know. I guess a vet.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Jake Reynolds, did you get a support dog when TMA moved to 101? Shut up, turd. That's from Ernie Bjorkman, and now he's mad at Jake Reynolds. He's just a nice gentleman.
Looks like usserviceanimals.org is where you would get it all registered.
Oh, okay.
.org.
Well, hopefully it didn't interrupt your meal.
No, it was the meal, A+, go back in a heartbeat. Doug, you like that nigiri?
That's just like straight raw fish, right?
That's
I don't know
sashimi.
what that is.
Okay.
Nigiri is on
Like a big block of rice.
I'm more of a meat and potatoes guy, Tim.
Same here.
Yeah,
And
you
sushi.
didn't know
Doesn't
what you were
sound like
doing.
it.
And if it is a support animal, it's not going to bother anybody. It's not going to walk around the restaurant. It's going to sit there and just do nothing until the owner leaves.
Yeah, I don't think people think they're going to be bothered by the dog. It's if there's hair flying, if he's
maybe
shedding all over,
Maybe
if
a
he's
tick or a
barking.
flea
something.
jumps off into somebody's soup.
Yeah.
I'm a sashimi guy. That's from Eric in the Central West End.
Every time I go to Westboro, that's all Tim eats.
That is actually true.
I've never seen you eat anything else for
I'll
lunch.
get the salad every once in a while. Doug, I try to keep it light.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, he's a petite gentleman.
I'm a petite gentleman.
Yeah.
That's a texter's name, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And it's only so big a
Or the
food
little
that
Dutch boy.
Your pincers can't get around big cheeseburgers or anything.
Tiny little pincers.
You know.
I ran into saw a moving picture over the weekend, and
Do you have a problem with that? I have a feeling you're really bothered by that.
Yeah, it wasn't that quaint.
They've been moving for a long time.
yeah, well, it's a talkie. Someone comes into the movie theater, a couple, 40 minutes late to the film, a plot-heavy film, not necessarily one you can just kind of pick up on, and the woman sat down next to me, had her phone on full brightness while she scrolled her email, her Outlook for 10 minutes, and then accidentally was like turning the phone toward me to talk to her husband, I don't know. And then the crescendo moment was she took a phone call in the movie theater.
No,
No way.
Took a 5-minute phone call.
No way.
She wasn't talking loudly, but I could hear clearly the other person on the line, and then I heard her responses. And then after the phone call hung up, they both got up and
I got to tell you,
left the theater.
I had the dog. I was just kind of like, I'm curious if this is a new thing, and I'm just oblivious to it because, again, there's a real good chance I'm oblivious. The phone, if I were in a movie theater, I don't know about the email thing, but taking the call, I'm not doing well with that.
No,
I'm probably not saying anything, but I wouldn't do well
right,
with
and
it.
like I didn't say anything because it's like, what if like someone's kid's sick? But if that's the case,
could be an
why would you be at
emergency.
the movie theater? Why were you
Well, then
40 minutes
wouldn't
late?
you step out though of the film? That's the issue.
1,000%. Always step out.
Yeah.
You take your phone call.
If I'm in a movie and I've obviously got my phone, on silent or do not
Right.
disturb or whatever, and I see my parents, I have a couple missed calls or something like that.
Right.
I'm going, oh crap, I gotta,
Right.
get outside. And it's probably my dad just wanting to know if I was going to take the over on the Spurs and Thunder.
Yeah. Right. Which of course you are.
Of course.
But yes, always step out. But the fact she took it right next to me, I was so amazed by it. But it's what I have a working theory that COVID and the recliner seats in movie theaters now have made people feel like they're at home and they've lost the decorum of the theater. They're talking, they're chuckling. Chuckling's fine.
I just said something. I said, honey, what are you doing here? We're in a movie theater.
You'd call her honey?
Babe, what are you doing here?
Well, luckily I said nothing because they just left. They just left, which is fine. I was like, all right.
Guy brings a dog to a restaurant and it's a whole discussion. Tim subjects country club members to lunch with his emotional support pervert. No one bats an eye. That's from Arbor Day.
Well, a few times we played golf, and then when we had our meetings up there before we came to Hubbard, Tim
That's
always
right.
Had, Tim always had
we had the show Vote.
Raw fish.
What if Iggy were a little collar that said emotional support pervert? That wouldn't be right.
Tim's got me on a leash and was hopping next to him.
How do you not have your phone on silent? That's from Gene Thomas. Doug Gene Thomas.
Agreed. Even being on it on low brightness, it's like, okay, not preferred, but it's okay. But to not only be on full brightness, scroll the entire time, show up late, and then take the call. I was like, I am.
Could you move? Was there another seat available?
No. It was a pretty full house. It was all right. It was
What
fine.
moving picture did you see?
It was a movie called Obsession.
Obsession. This was with Beyonce, and it was kind of a Fatal Attraction theme from 14 years ago, and they're bringing it back. Why?
A very small budget horror movie that has done huge numbers at the
Is that
box
right?
office.
Is it scary? Is it scary?
One of the most upsetting movies I've ever seen.
Upsetting.
Dog.
What upsetting?
Upsetting. That's different than scary. Why?
It's also very scary, but there's some incredibly upsetting moments.
Well,
in the
did you
movie.
think about bringing a support animal to the movie?
Not
theater?
upsetting where I was going to cry, but I was like, okay, this is going to mess me up for a little bit.
And like Human Centipede.
That's also very upsetting, but that's more in a gut-wrenching kind of way. This is more like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm looking at here.
What happened?
The plot of the movie is that this guy is friend-zoned by a girl in his friend group. They're in their mid-20s, and there's this, it's essentially like a little toy he buys. It's called like a one-wish willow, where you break it and you make a wish, and it'll come true.
Like Tom Hank and Big.
It's very similar kind of.
The Zoltar does.
Yeah, very similar. And so he says, I wish Nikki, the girl, would love me more than anyone in the world. Breaks it, and it comes true to the point where it becomes a real problem. She is obsessed with him, and it becomes a very big problem.
Would you recommend this film?
No, it's not for the faint of heart.
So pack a lunch.
Pack 2.
Pack 2 lunches.
Someone gets their head lopped off?
I'm not going to spoil anything. It's a fantastic movie, but it is very difficult.
Any actors or actresses we've heard of?
It's very all newbies.
That's an artsy film.
Yeah, but I mean, it's doing massive numbers. Like, it made more in its second weekend than it did in its first, which
Indie
is very
film?
rare.
Indie
yes,
film?
It was made by Blumhouse.
Any scenes that are going to wind up in Mr. Skin?
There's breasts, but I wouldn't say it's erotic.
Okay.
But it's great. It's a great movie.
Usually when you have breast in a horror movie, it's usually when she gets her throat slashed and there's blood covering the breast. You can't see them anyway.
Tight read.
It's so vivid.
Tight read, Ken. But it is spot on. It was, it was post-life breast.
Post-life breast.
Well, conscious life, I guess.
Conscious life breast.
Yeah, but worth it. Doug, you would hate it.
Why? Because it's just mindless violence?
I wouldn't say mindless, but it is violent, yeah.
James Carlton is not violent. He's a man. He's a fine gentleman. Jackson's a client. I'm a client. We recommend you become a client as well. 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. On board with After the Morning After. That Andrew Hubbard at Polos Plus has created an After the Morning After shirt. And you can go get stuff at polosplus.com with the TMA tab at polosplus.com. Sharp look. It's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net or by calling 314-961-4800. He's up to 500 5-star reviews. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. You will save money on your auto insurance and you will get great customer service. James Carlton, sponsor of the YouTube chat. Shocking that Pale would see that woke independent film garbage. That's from Big Tuft. Is it independent?
Yeah. Yes, it is independent.
Woke?
I guess if you like using those kind of divisive terms, I'm sure that you would qualify it as that.
I had a support gerbil until my stepfather Chester sent me off to university. That's from Tom Traven. He's a glove blogger.
I feel like there'd be like a size, like an animal that small can't really, how much support can it provide? Pleasure. But,
what?
Well, I'm spitballing here.
Right.
What do I know?
A support gerbil.
I got a question, too, since we're doing questions.
Yes, yeah.
No, it happened-
Questions from the dais.
Questions.
I'm just curious
QFTD.
when this stopped. Remember when you're a little kid, when you're playing softball or baseball or whatever, you get a hit and, you always get the pat on the butt. Good job. Even managers to grown players come out to the mound, take a guy out, give him a pat on the butt. Well, I was outside this weekend, and some guy and his wife came by, and Iggy, big fans of the show, and so we were chatting, and he asked if I had a picture I could sign. I said, well, I got to go upstairs and get it, but
hate to
More
put you
people
out.
demanding
I
pictures
said,
of
I'll
you.
go upstairs and get you one.
Your privacy is just gone.
I'm a nice guy, so I should have told him. I said, just go up and get it. Just my briefcase.
Go into your house and rummage around for a picture.
There's a briefcase next to my couch. It's in there somewhere to grab when I come on down.
Because what were you doing there? You were too busy.
If you see a bird, get rid of it.
I went and got it. So anyway, I signed it for him. We chatted for a little bit, and they were going over to Dico Gorio's to get something. So I just got up, shook his hand, said goodbye to the lady, and he gave me a pat on the butt. Thanks, buddy. And it didn't bother me. But I'm like, nobody does that anymore. Was that like when the Me Too thinks, you can't pat on the butt anymore?
Like that's a question for you.
I think it was always pretty rare in a non-sporting situation for one man to pat another on the buttocks.
I mean, I've had 3 people pat my butt.
Tiger Woods,
Joan Jett, and Quinn Snyder.
What a diverse list.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like coaches back in the day. Yeah. But it was just, it wasn't odd. I didn't care, but it's like, nobody's ever patted me on the, people don't pat on the butt anymore. I don't know why.
But nope. This story did not happen. That's from Kwame Voyukis IV.
But it wouldn't be like, you see someone at the grocery store and you open the door for them, they say thank you and slap you on the ass. Like, it would certainly be in a sports situation. All those people you name,
usually,
2 of the 3 are athletes or coaches.
Yeah.
Feels like more of a sports thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're going to go do it at work. Hey, nice job, Susie.
Not if you want to continue your employment.
Yeah, you won't work there anymore. But I mean, just friends and that. Nobody does that anymore. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter because this story never happened. That's a major matter.
Well, it did happen. Maybe he's a listener. If you're
People
listening,
just walked by.
If you're listening now on YouTube, type in and say it was me.
They walked by.
His name was Craig.
And Craig walks by, and you're sitting at your stoop outside your jail cell. And he says, I must have a picture.
No, we talked for a bit.
And you tell him, go ahead and get it your own self.
He just walked over and said, Iggy? I said, yeah. He goes, big fan. And he introduced his wife, and we chatted for a bit, and he says, you love it down here, and blah, blah, blah. And then he said, is there any way I can get a picture? Do you have any pictures? I said, yeah, I'll get you one.
Hey, Mike, I want to suck your big butt cheeks.
Why not just take a picture with you?
He didn't suck it, he just patted it.
And that story, which never happened, was sponsored by syphilis and 40 years of garbage living. That's some glove vlogger Tom Draven.
Good to have him back. I haven't heard from him.
I don't think you can get an STD just by patting somebody on the butt.
Wouldn't it be more likely that he just wanted to take a picture with you?
I don't know, he just wanted a picture.
And a piece of that ass, boy.
I'm surprised because everybody always asks for a picture down there. Nobody asked for he didn't ask for a picture.
How many of these pictures do you give out over the course of a month or so?
Not many, but when people down there and see me, they ask if they can get a picture with me.
Well, they know you have office hours right there in front of your apartment.
Yeah, I took like 3 or 4 pictures on the wine walk day. The wine walk was going on. There's people all over the place, and I think 4 people came over and asked for a picture.
Is it hard to be this famous?
No, I love when people recognize me and say they love the show. No. I'm not like some people that just say, I'm busy, please leave me alone.
No. Who do you know that does that?
Famous celebrities, and that shouldn't count.
Who's known for that?
Oh, Justin Bieber's just
Justin Bieber, is that right, really?
Well, he's hounded so much. I mean, TMZ. I mean, how many pictures do you need of Justin Bieber, TMZ? He's flashing pictures how many do you need of the guy? And I don't blame him when he says, God, you're just in it for the money. How many do you need of me? Leave me alone. I get it. Leave the kid alone.
You can certainly sympathize with him because you get it yourself.
Well, but I say, no problem. I'm not going to say, you're going to sell this? You're doing this for the money?
Yeah.
You're undoubtedly the most famous person who lives on the hill right now. Is there an argument for anyone
Terry
else?
Crouppen.
Yeah, he lives on there.
I don't think he lives there.
He does?
Does he really live there?
Mm-hmm.
Does he?
He told us he did.
Yeah, but he's probably not as famous as I am down there.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
This is bizarre behavior. It's not normal. It's 618.
What is it, patting somebody in the butt?
Did you show this guy's wife the Speedo pic involuntarily? That's from Father Brown Eye.
No. Now, if I'd have patted her on the butt as she walked away, we'd probably have no problem. But I don't mind somebody just saying good job or nice talking to you or something like that.
When you sit there in front of your apartment on the sidewalk, you should always have that Speedo pic on your phone ready to show, or have some of that printed out. Print out some of those and hand them.
Why?
It's the people want.
That's what. Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Sounds like gluten-free perk when running for the hills, according to these people.
Yeah.
Well,
her loss.
She's the outlier.
Doug, the audience loves a Dear Deidre, and I have one for you.
Have you? Okay.
And in band. 2, 1. Dear Deidre, I have totally lost confidence in the bedroom because I watched my wife have sex with a well-endowed man. By the way, she loved it. We've always been a happy couple with a great sex life. We are both 38 and our daughter is 4. Isn't it nice to weave in the...
Why do we need
Leave in the daughter, too, yeah.
A month ago, we were invited to my cousin's 40th birthday party. We separated when we got there, but when I walked into the kitchen, a while later, my wife was chatting intently to a guy. I introduced myself and he shook my hand, congratulating me on having a, quote, gorgeous wife, and continued to say how much he envied me. I could tell she was on cloud 9 because back at home in bed, she was all over me like a rash.
Brother.
Thinking of him, I'm sure.
2 days later, she told me he'd messaged her via social media and asked whether he could, quote, have a cuckold arrangement.
Oh,
Sure.
Where I watched as he had sex with her. I was furious at first and wanted to punch the guy's lights out.
yeah.
But my wife persuaded me that it, quote, could be fun.
Oh, no.
My maid had a similar experience with his girlfriend and told me he'd enjoyed it, so I nervously agreed. Our daughter was away at her nan's.
Oh, she wasn't anywhere. This whole thing is made up.
She was at her nan's.
For a weekend, so we met the guy again. He's 42. He's divorced. We had drinks, then walked back from the pub to our place. Watching my wife with him was something else. She looked so turned on, but the difference was he was bigger than me in every way.
No.
I felt so humiliated. I haven't been able to have sex since.
Oh,
Boy, yeah.
She says she loves me, but in the next breath suggests that we meet this guy again. Deidre, I feel so inadequate. Good news, there's advice.
I thought there
thank
might
God.
be.
I'm reeling.
Deidre says cuckold situations can be a bad idea. They provoke emotions you wouldn't ever imagine would surface. You've demonstrated perfectly that living out a fantasy can sometimes be disastrous. Tell your wife this was a one-off. Suggest that you change your techniques for new thrills without involving a third party. My guess is that you worry you are below average size, probably because you look down on your penis, which gives it a foreshortening effect. I've never heard that.
Really? It's a perspective thing?
Foreshortening effect. Huh. Never seen the word in my life.
So if you looked at it from below?
Oh, what would you be doing down there?
Like it was a little hat?
A purple derby. A larger penis can be arousing for a woman visually, but intercourse can be painful.
Oh,
My support packs called Penis Size and Understanding Female Pleasure will help you feel more positive.
I think about getting that in your mailbox.
and you do it with a voice like of one of the Kennedys?
I think that was Ted. Was that 79 or 80?
Right around
You
there.
think they were doing the cooking?
I think
Yes.
they probably did anything you can think of.
That's tough. See, if it's just short, if it's short of actually sleeping with your wife, but like the idea of flirting with your wife gets her all hot and bothered in the bedroom for you, is that a cuckold or is that just...
Well, fortunately, we have an expert.
Well, yeah, it's like...
I don't think it's a cuck. He agreed to it.
Well, in this, he's
Again,
sleeping,
unless she's berating him.
but he feels inadequate.
Well, that's his problem.
But isn't that a cuck's mentality?
You're no therapist when you say, well, that's his problem.
I don't know what
Supposed to help with the problem.
I don't know what his mentality is. I mean, he's all for
You're
it
really
until
failing as an opposed
But what
support
does he think
pervert.
he's inadequate? Maybe he's 6 and the other guy's 9. I don't know. I mean, you're not inadequate. You may be smaller than that guy, but that doesn't mean you're
Right.
inadequate. You just said you had great lovemaking before that, so what are you worried about, dude?
My idea is if she's just getting hot and bothered by the idea of the other guy, is that necessarily a cuckolding, or is that
It's a
just
great question, Jackson. That's really
sometimes
it's
we gotta get it all.
existential.
Sometimes we got it's like another catcher, taking the bullpen. Like I'll catch his bullpen, you'll catch him in the game, so he's ready to go for you for the game. You think Pedro Paz is over there getting cucked by the bullpen catcher? I don't think so.
No, I think you have to, you can't just think about it. Think about the guy and you're getting cucked. You have to do something about it.
Okay. Well, it seems like they've put action into it.
Yeah, she wants to go back for another round.
Well, if she does that without telling him.
That's a cuckold.
If he agrees,
But if he's there, it's not a cuckold.
and he agrees to it, it's not a cuck.
Why is this guy going along with it if he's not into it like at all?
But
Yeah,
if he's
you've never
there
done
and
it before. How excited can you get watching your wife bang another dude?
If he's there and being berated, then he is a cuckold.
Yeah.
As
porn
long
cuck,
as
porn
if he's
cuck.
not being berated, he's not a cuckold.
Like if it's polite conversation.
No, he's just watching. But it doesn't seem like this guy wanted to do it.
Not at all.
They're not in the lifestyle, so she just probably wanted to have sex with another dude and turn it into, it'll be fun, you can just watch.
Well, their daughter was away at Nan's.
She was, what is that?
She wasn't in
Nannies?
it.
No, grandma.
Away at university.
So if you're watching, and the guy doesn't say anything. You're not being berated, but one bad word in your direction, suddenly you're a cuckold victim.
Yeah. Look at the size of this guy, you loser.
Just
That's a
one
cuck.
word. Oh,
So you're telling me this guy isn't a cuckold victim?
No.
I mean, it's up and down. What's going on? Day is night here? What are we talking about? He said he's a cuckold.
I don't think he said he's a cuckold. the guy,
The bull.
The bull.
the guy who wanted to have sex with his wife said, "Do you want to have a cuckold situation?"
Right.
He doesn't know the meaning of cuckold. That's the problem.
So he should
Just because you're having sex with his wife and he agrees to it, you're not cucking anybody.
So as long as we're sending out support packs, we should send him some on cuckolding, some reading material.
So when he went home and had sex with his wife that night, maybe he cucked that dude.
oh.
This story's more believable than that Craig story. That's breaking.
Well, mine is real. This one isn't real. Dear Deidre was running out of things to promote her penis prize pack, whatever it's called.
Oh.
Penis sizes.
Penis support pack. Nobody's got my penis support pack. No, I better do a cuckold story about a small dude.
Does it really matter since there's such a fine line between being a cuckold or not being a cuckold? Does it really even matter?
It's not really a
In the
fine
big
line.
It
picture,
seems
it's just-
arbitrary. I'm with Doug.
It's just in the
pretty
big picture, your wife is enjoying someone else and not you. Whether this guy yells at you or not seems kind of immaterial.
The true meaning of a cuckold is your wife cheats on you. She's not cheating on you.
True
You
meaning
said
of
go
a
ahead.
cuckold. Like it's Christmas.
What's the true meaning? I came up with the porn cuck.
Doesn't mean as much unless it's a true cuckold. Your berating's got to be in the right place.
Yeah, that would be a porn cuck. Me and Plowsy came up with a porn cuck. But a true cuckold is you cheat on your wife. If you ask your wife, or your wife asks you, do you mind if I have sex with this guy? No, go ahead. That's not a cuck. He gave you permission to go have
Okay,
sex.
now, let me ask you this. What if she goes and does it and you're not there? Is that a cuck?
Does he know about it?
Yes.
It's not a cuck.
There you go, Doug.
He's not cheating because he
So
knows
why
what's
do we
going on.
Why do we need a word for it? If just cheating is
I didn't come up with it. The Romans came up with it, I think.
The Romans.
Romans?
Julius Caesar.
You're just saying it's basically just cheating.
Do you think that's why they all killed him? Because he cucked them all?
I
Could happen. I could see that.
I think cuckold was way back in the early.
Oh, since the
1200th
dawn of
century.
humanity, people have been doing crazy.
Right, but they didn't have a term for it.
Maybe the 13th century.
Guys, this story must be true. I can't tell you how many times I walked by a homeless person who spent his last $10 on the pack of smokes he's inhaling and asked them for a picture. That's from the St. Charles Hermaphrodite.
They didn't ask for a picture.
Or a cigarette.
They asked for a signed picture. They didn't ask for a picture with me.
Doug, I'd ask for a signed picture of Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating
sure
and
you
Cooling online at designairservice.com, the longest running sponsor on TMA, and here he is on After the Morning After as well. That's Seth Goldcamp, and they have created a service plan for our listeners. You go to designairservice.com, you sign up, and they come out when the weather warms up, and here we are, temperatures in the 80s this week. And then when the weather cools down, they come out and they take care of the furnace. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. They're online at designairservice.com. Seth Goldcamp and Design Air Heating and Cooling. The text inbox is brought to you by Lifetime Roofing. That's Dustin McClendon and his team at Lifetime Roofing, STL.com, serving the St. Louis metro area since 2005. It's a veteran and locally owned business. And what they do is award-winning and A-plus rated. Ask about their literal lifetime warranty on new roofs and James Hardy siding. They are online at lifetimeroofingstl.com or by calling 314-800-0426. That's 314-800-0426. Lifetime Roofing, sponsor of the text inbox. It's named after a bird, you rusty lug nut. That's from Chuck Booms.
He's right about that. That's where the word
I thought it was a Shakespeare thing. Like Shakespeare kind of coined it.
But the word comes from a bird.
Cuckoo, which is known for going into other nests and
Yeah.
sleeping with the birds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A cuckold is the husband of an adulterous wife.
Okay, then
So-
Iggy might be right.
And the wife of an adulterous husband is a cuck queen.
Oh,
So a gentleman who cheats on his wife is leaving behind a cuck queen.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So there's gender affiliation with this.
Ooh, and in Chinese usage, the cuckold is said to described as wearing the green hat. That's the phrase.
Doug wearing the green hat.
that required males in households with prostitutes to wrap their heads in a green scarf. So this, I guess, sort of like a Scarlet Letter thing.
Good morning. The Roman Empire ended 1,000 years prior to the 13th century. That's from Deep Voice Dude.
I don't know my ears.
Kind of a meaty chuff there, too.
Like it's 12 o'clock, and that means it's over, just like that.
Sleeping up.
After the morning after, presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. If you are looking for a new car, pre-owned car, or to get your car serviced, go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. Thank you to Jamie Burkhardt and the Munganess family for making this program possible, along with Longo Biggs, sponsor of the 11 o'clock hour, Lifetime Roofing, sponsor of our text inbox, James Carlton, sponsor of the YouTube chat, and Mark Hanna, sponsor of the phone lines, which Doug...
they don't work. They
Going through
simply
a brief
don't work.
hiatus.
With very little hope of it ever working.
Yeah.
I'll be
They
there.
keep, if it continues, we'll all be wearing the green hat.
And Pound House Anonymous, by the way, this week's
What do we got?
podcast is with Mike Wellington.
Oh, is that right?
I saw some clips of that.
While
It
he
looked
was on there
great.
talking
gotta
about
listen to that.
bipolar.
Yeah, it looks great.
Great interview.
I got to listen to that. And then it sounds like Larry Thornton's window company is going to sponsor Jackson's desktop, which is broken.
Yeah, I just can't record. I can play. I've been playing drops out of it.
Time for us to shut it down. For Jackson, Better Burkett, Kenneth, Iggy, Strode, my brother Kevin, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McCurdy. This has been After the Morning After, presented to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota.